On this episode of Cox Connections, a local service organization is leading the charge for change in one part of our community. We'll hear about the salvation of the Broad Creek area and what it could mean for people who live there. The end is near for Fort Monroe. We'll talk to the mayor of Hampton about plans to have the past help the future for this historic landmark. And mixing fun with education is music to any child's ears. We'll find out about the BEAR program and how it's helping promote literacy in our area with a little help from Cox. You're watching Cox Connections. Hello and welcome to Cox Connections. I'm your host, Gary McCullum, Senior Vice President and General Manager for Cox Hampton Roads. In 2006, more than $1 billion was donated to the Salvation Army for the creation of community centers across the country. In Hampton Roads, the Army has been diligently working to be able to use some of that to build the Kroc Community Center in Norfolk. Here with me now to tell us about this exciting project is Major Louis Reckline and David Cobbs, who will talk to us about how this facility will impact and enhance our community. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Well, it sounds like this is going to be a big deal for this community. Tell me a little bit about how did the idea of the Kroc Center, how did it come about?
We're pretty excited about it. It came about over in San Diego when Mrs. Kroc was living up on a hill and could look down and see the downtrodden section of San Diego, and wanted those young people and all the people in that community to be able to experience something that would be very fulfilling for them. And so she went to the Salvation Army and gave them the money for a Kroc Center. And then when she passed, it was in her will that she released $1.6 million to the Salvation Army nationwide, so that the different communities.
So Hampton Roads won't get that entire 1.6 million.
No, wouldn't it be nice?
Oh, shucks. So how much of that would be allocated to Hampton Roads?
Well, actually, we'll get $84 million total if we can locally raise 28 of that 84. And we're engaged in an endowment fundraising campaign right now to raise the 28 million. If we're successful at doing that, then $56 million from the Kroc endowment will also be released, and we'll have a $28 million facility with a $56 million endowment, so that it will ensure that it will operate.
That it will operate going forward. And
yes.
so you're in the middle of this effort now to raise these funds. And so how's it going so far?
We're about at 20 million.
20 million. That's
yes.
Outstanding. Now, there are some people who are probably watching this show right now saying, how do I get involved? I want to do something to help out the community and join the Salvation Army in this effort. How do they go about doing that?
Well, it's pretty simple. They can call our office at 543-8100, or they can look us up on the web at www.salarmyhr.org and learn more about the program, learn more about what we do in the community, and then send us a check.
Send us a check. All right. So now, where is the facility going to be built? And talk a little bit about what's going to be housed in this center.
It's going to be down at the corner of Ballantyne and Princess Anne in Norfolk, right in the Broad Creek area, and it's going to house
I think we're seeing some video of where it's going to look, where it's going to be.
This is, I guess it would be
in
doing
the Broad Creek area.
Yeah, Broad Creek area. It's a disservice to actually call it a community center, but that may be the best way to initially describe it. It will have a large indoor water park. It will have a large fitness and recreational facility, so you've got a recreational component to it. It will also have a performing arts theater and chapel, and large classrooms, community rooms. So the vision that Ms. Kroc had was to have both recreational, cultural, and spiritual needs being met.
So this is not your typical rec center. This is going to be what you described as a showcase center. So can you talk a little about some of the programs that are going to operate out of the facility?
Well, obviously you'll have the fitness programs that go along with that, that type of facility, but we'll also bring some of our existing programs that we do in our facility right now. We have character building classes for young people. We have senior classes for seniors. We have women's programs. We're also going to partner with the schools to see what we can do for the young people. We're going to look at some of the health facilities around town, because obviously that'd be a good therapeutic type of program for folks. And it's going to be designed that everyone who walks through the door, there'll be something in place that is of interest to them.
And I guess in this location I guess it's proximity to light rail. It's going to be
It's not far from the light rail station near Ballantyne and Norfolk State, so it's close proximity to really good public transportation. The Broad Creek area is one that is really being revitalized, and this center will be an iconic facility. Architecturally, there won't be anything like it in the area, so it'll be
we only have about a minute left. What is the city's involvement? What is Norfolk's involvement?
The city's one of our partners. It's a great partnership. We will secure the land from them, and they have pledged upwards of $7 million to help with this program. And so we've been working hand in hand to secure the property, and then the city obviously is going to build a library across the street in the future. And part of the preliminary thoughts about that is all of our educational programs, we'll be able to take our young people over to the library and use their state-of-the-art facilities as well.
So clearly, I mean, this is really an investment in this community.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, this is going to make a huge impact in that whole
It
region.
will, and we're at the point now where we have $8 million to go, but that's going to be the most challenging part, and we need as many folks as possible who might be interested in this to contact
So anyone
Salvation
listening,
Army.
if they think, well, my dollar wouldn't help, my $5 wouldn't help, that's not what we want them to think at this point. Whatever, no matter what the amount is, you want that, if they would like to contribute, they can do so.
If we can raise that amount, we can build it. If we build it, we don't have to worry about being able to operate it in perpetuity.
Yeah,
We have
that's
an
a
endowment.
neat place because of the funding. You said that once it's built, the endowment will take care of the operation of it.
Yes, it will.
Right. We'll have an endowment in place that'll last forever.
Well, listen, thank you both, Major David, for what you're doing to really impact this community, not only now but in the future. This is great work that you're doing. Don't go away. We'll have more from around the region up next. You're watching Cox Connections.